Hello again, Guardians. LVnative here with another Destiny video. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the Stormcaller class for your Warlock and to see the preferred setup that I usually like to run with whenever I choose to run a Stormcaller in PvP. Let's take a look at the perks. So, one thing to keep in mind with the Stormcaller in particular, you can set it up a multitude of ways. I have seen very successful setups using a lot of different abilities. This is just what I prefer to use on mine when I run. Starting off with the grenades, a pulse grenade. The grenade that periodically damages enemies inside the explosion radius. Not a bad one. Typically it's my last choice. The grenade just doesn't do enough damage per tick for me to be able to use it consistently in my builds. Then you have the storm grenade. A grenade that calls down a focused lightning storm. Very fun to use in a lot of situations. It's your most powerful grenade, but you have to make sure they stay clumped up in order to get the most benefit out of that. Because of that, I go with old, tried and true Arc Bolt grenade. This was my favorite grenade to use on my Blade Dancer. It is my favorite to use on the Stormcaller. It's just very effective at hitting multiple people as long as you get the grenade anywhere near them. It auto targets and does a great job of getting that damage onto your enemies. Moving on to your jumps, you can honestly run with any one that you want. You've got the Focused Control, the Focus Burst, and the Balanced Glide. For me, I prefer to run with Focus Burst. This is going to give you the biggest increase in speed that you can get as a Warlock. If you manage to master that little Warlock bunny hop, triple tap to get the boost and land, and keep doing that. It's not quite as fast as Titan Skating, but it's pretty close, and it is the Warlock's best option if you want the most speed, and for me I like to be able to traverse the map quickly. For your super, you've got Landfall. On casting Storm Trance, fire a bolt of lightning into the ground, creating a devastating shockwave around you. Absolutely love Landfall. It allows you to one-shot most enemies out there, and then you can use the rest of your super to clean up the rest of any other kills that weren't in the initial blast radius. Superconductor. Double your Storm Trance's lightning chaining capabilities. Sounds really awesome, but it already changed to I think 3 Guardians, and that's just going to double it. Now the odds that you're going to find more than 3 Guardians in the same area in PvP are very, very minor. It's usually not going to happen. You just don't get a chance to proc it often enough for me to run with Superconductor. Besides that, you can also choose to run with Ionic Blink. I know a lot of people who like to run with this one. It gives you a lot more mobility while you're using your super. You can close the distance, close the gap, and kill that guy trying to run away, or make yourself a little bit mobile while people are shooting at you in your super. Not a bad choice at all for certain playstyles. It's okay for me, but if I gotta choose, I'm gonna go with Landfall. It is my favorite to run with. Moving on to your melee abilities. You got a couple of good choices. You've got Chain Lightning. Your Thunderstrike chains to other nearby enemy. Not bad, it does a little extra damage, but it doesn't do a lot. For me, I give it a pass because I like to run with Amplitude. Your Thunderstrike has greater range. This is insanely good on a Warlock who already has a long reach on its melee anyway. So take a look at this clip here, and I'll show you a little bit about what I'm talking about. So nothing real special. We're just pushing up into their spawn, trying to kind of trap them there so our guys can get the spark. Now, I start to notice someone coming on my right-hand side. I wait for my teammate who starts shooting at him to see if he takes him out. I see he does, and I quit my shotgun, and I decide I'm going to move in and help try to clean him up. Now, I make a bad mistake here, and then I'm going to slow this down just so you can kind of see what's going on. I took a really bad angle here, and I probably should have died. Get the shotgun, go for the melee, and I get the kill. Now, that was a decent distance away, but I could have even killed him from even further. Just give you an idea of how much distance that gives you. So Amplitude, a very good choice indeed. You also have Rising Storm. Hits with the Thunderstrike, charge your super ability and melee energy. It sounds pretty cool on paper, but in reality, boys and girls, this is only going to take 1 second off your super ability or your melee energy recharge time. It is nowhere near enough effective for me to choose this over my Amplitude. I'm going to go with Amplitude 100% of the time over that. With these, you can honestly set it up however you like. I prefer to go max armor with my Stormcaller, so I use Arcane Force. Feel free to choose what you want though. Pulse Wave. When critically wounded, trigger a pulse wave that boosts speed for you and your allies. Now this doesn't only increase your speed, but it also increases your weapon reloading. It increases, your weapon handling. You can zoom in a little bit quicker. It just makes you all in all a more, quicker individual. The fact that it also spreads to your nearby teammates is just icing on the cake. This is not a bad one to run. I run it sometimes myself. Feedback: incoming melee attacks fully recharge and intensify your Thunderstrike. Now it will make it more powerful, however, it does not make it to where you can one-shot somebody with it. Now if somebody meleeed me and I could turn around and hit them with my Thunderstrike and kill them in one shot, I might choose to run this. But since I still don't get a kill, I don't use it. Transcendence. When cast with full grenade and melee energy, Storm Trance restores your health to full and it drains slower. How much slower? Let's take a look at a couple of these clips to show you exactly how powerful this is. So first up, let's take a look at how long your Storm Trance lasts without Transcendence and without actually hitting your ability to kill people. You're just floating there. It's going to passively drain by, and it's going to last for 16 seconds. So not too bad. Up next, let's take a look at what it looks like without Transcendence. But we're actually going to be holding our fire button down, so you're just like actively trying to shock anyone that comes near you. So this time when we do it, you'll actually notice that that bar drains a little bit quicker while I'm sitting there actively, hitting my fire button. And this is going to last for 12 seconds. Now the next two clips, let's do the exact same thing. However, this time we're going to have Transcendence active, and let's see how long it lasts now. Again, first, I'm not doing anything. I'm just floating there, letting it see how long it passively lasts. You might be able to tell that is draining a lot slower, and it's actually going to give you 21 seconds. So it's going to give you an extra 5 seconds when you're not actually trying to zap anybody and you're just floating around. To finish this off, let's see how long you get if you go ahead and use it with Transcendence and keeping your fire button held down the entire time. So again, you're going to notice it draining a little bit faster, but not quite as fast as it was without Transcendence. This time, it is going to last 16 seconds. So you're going to get like an extra 4 seconds with Transcendence if you're actively holding that fire button down the whole time. That may or may not make a difference for you getting that extra seconds, but it actually can help. Take a look at this clip. Now, we're doing a little bit of Rift. I destroy the Spark Carrier, take out his buddy, and now I go hunting for the rest of the team. I've already killed 2 people. There's 2 more guys up here. Knock those 2 out. Now the remaining 2 people are down here by the heavy ammo spawn, and I take out both of them. I get the entire team wipe because I got those extra few seconds. Now unfortunately I was not able to finish off him after he self-rezzed, but I still killed their entire team because I had that extra time. Fantastic perk to run with, and those extra 4 to 5 seconds can really make the difference in a big fight like that. For me, I absolutely love using Transcendence just to be able to pull off complete team kills like that. Moving on again, set these up however you like. I want max armor, so I run with it that way. In your last column, you have Electrostatic Mind. Storm Trance charges faster when allies are near. When Storm Trance is active, nearby enemies take damage. They take just a little bit of damage, but the big thing is charging your super more quickly. And if you are running with a full team of people and you can coordinate and stay close to them, it will make a huge difference and can almost cut it down in half if you're near 3 people at all times. So if you're with a coordinated team in a group of 6, it might not be a bad thing to run with. You also have Arc Web. Enemies damaged by your grenade chain deadly damage to nearby enemies. Now, if you combine that with Arc Bolt, which is really good at hitting a few people as long as you throw it in the general area, those two work off of each other very well. Again, I have one more clip to show you how effective this can be as well. So first thing to know that without Arc Web, I only would have gotten 1 kill here. But because it chained to nearby people, I back off when I take some damage. I'm going to move up, toss my grenade, and if you look, I actually am able to get 2 kills. One's a little delayed because of that Arc Web. I would not have gotten that second kill without that ability. So if you noticed in that clip, I only hit 2 people with that grenade, and was still able to get the kill on both of the enemies. One with the grenade, one because I finished off with my primary, but it multiplies upon itself. If your grenade is initially able to damage like 3 or 4 enemies, then you are going to get that arc web to proc for each one of those that you hit, and it can be devastating. You can even get complete team kills, theoretically, if you hit everybody with that grenade. Your other choice is your perpetual charge. Grenade kills recharge your melee, melee kills recharge your grenade. Pretty self-explanatory, kind of a cool little perk to run in PvE. It's going to allow you to clear a bunch of trash mobs quickly, but in PvP, it's not as practical for me because your melee doesn't kill in one hit, and your grenade doesn't kill in one hit in most circumstances, unless you have that arc web, chaining thing going on. Because of that, it just doesn't proc often enough for me to be, more useful than what arc web is. For your exotic armor, my choice is the ram, first and foremost, for that added defense. Sure, it's good on a Voidwalker to get, the life steal effect on any Voidwalker melee, but we use it strictly for the added armor that it gives you. You combine this with max armor stat in your settings, and you're able to survive things you normally shouldn't be able to. It gives you a lot of extra survivability, and that's always a good thing. If you're running trials, Light Beyond Nemesis, in my opinion, is a must. It's going to allow you to be able to revive your teammates faster and for you to be revived faster as well. But for other, PvP where revives are not a thing, run with the ram. You won't regret it. You can also run the route of going the impossible machines. Now, this is going to give you landfall for free, and it will allow you to take maybe Ionic Blink in that column as well. I know people who run with this. I used to run with this quite a bit myself until I got my hands on a ram, and I really haven't looked back since. But it is still fun to use those impossible machines sometimes. You do have one other exotic choice. You could run with the Void Fang Investments, which is a pretty good option for a lot of Warlocks out there. But for me, I usually just end up sticking with the Ram for that added defense. It just gives me too much survivability for me not to take it. So that's pretty much it. All the settings that you saw are the settings that I usually run with. But again, there are circumstances where I switch it up sometimes. Sometimes I'm just, get a little froggy and I want the impossible machine so I can have my Ionic Blink, along with my landfall. And if, like I said, if I'm running trials, I run with the Light Beyond Nemesis for the faster revives. But for the most part, when I'm running my Stormcaller, I typically like to run with the ram for that added defense. So that's going to be pretty much it. This ran a little bit longer than I initially was planning, but once I got into it, I realized there is a lot of stuff to go over with the Stormcaller. There are so many different setups you can run successfully depending on your play style. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. So on that note, in the comment section down below, please let me know if you like the way that I ran this setup or if you have a setup that you prefer. We'd love to hear from it. If you enjoyed this video, found it entertaining, or at least a little informative, please go ahead and smack that like button. I greatly appreciate it. That's going to do it for today. As always, thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This is LVnative, and I will see you in the next one. Hey there, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you like what you saw, drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Until next time, this is LVnative, and I am out of here.